Now, you shared about your college experience. What I would like to know is how you're also a person of great faith. How has your knowledge of science impacted your faith?
Believe it or not, science has never had any impact on my faith. Believe it or not, theology has challenged my faith more than science has. I'm able to
Mm,
separate the two. I'm able to separate, the physical from the metaphysical. I can separate the two. But when
sure.
I started studying theology, that's when I start questioning everything that I believed. And even now, when I'm preparing sermons, I have to physically tell myself to take the natural out of it and think of it in spiritual terms. I'm more challenged by theology than science. I'm easily separate the two. God speaks to me through nature, so I
Mm,
can take anything physical and see God in it.
sure.
Whatever it is, even if it's something that's being man-made, handmade by man, I can still see God in it. But
Sure.
when I'm studying theology, I am challenged. I believe, I have faith, but
Sure.
I have to, and so that's why I study a lot. So then I'm looking at the prophecies, I'm looking at, I'm trying to put it all together. And then
Sure.
some things I just have to believe that it is God.
Amen. 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 Understandable. Understandable. I've gone through those through those challenges,
Yeah.
especially and I'll just share my side of that just to have some back and forth is that I used to be a spoken word artist. And when you're a spoken word artist, you do poetry at the university.
Hmm.
And eventually some philosophy students, kind of came up to me, and at the end of a poem that was
Hmm.
about God, because I was doing poetry about God,
Hmm.
they started hitting me with questions that were a little tougher than the questions I would receive at my local church, or
Right,
tougher
right.
than even questions I received in the prison ministry. I had done prison
Hmm.
ministry as well. And these questions were a little tougher, and it kind of made me go through what I call my apologetic season, where I
Yep,
went through
absolutely.
apologetics, and in the end, I came out with a stronger faith. But when you learn how the sausage is made, I guess you could say it,
Yep,
it can
absolutely.
be it can be challenging. It
Yeah.
can
Well,
it
even
can
when I was called to preach, when I felt the call on my life to minister, and it came from nowhere. It's like, where is this coming from? And I, I won't say I ran from it. I wanted to understand it.
sure.
And in my conversations with God, um, some of the things that I share with God, and this is in our conversation, is that I don't know what I believe. I don't know, I don't, how much of this, the Bible doesn't make sense to me in a lot of areas. And because I have an analytical mind, I want this one, two, three, this is how it is, this is how I want it to make sense to me. And I really struggle with that. But day one in seminary, just answered all of my questions about why I had so many questions. And then I could rest and trust the process, that I could learn theology and still have my faith intact when it was all over.